Ugh. Spam calls. Sound familiar? Introducing Line 2. Get a second phone number right on your existing phone. Imagine discounts, appointments, online forms. Handle it all without giving out your personal number. It's like having a secret weapon against spam. And when those unwanted calls sneak through, boom, blocked. No more interruptions, no more stress. Stay connected, stay protected. Keep your main number safe and out of harm's way. Ready to take back your phone? Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store today.
Kempire is brought to you by Mother's Day is right around the corner, and we are partnering with Rose Forever so that you can get yourself or your mother figure something beautiful, something that will last at least a year. So many of you have checked out Rose Forever in our collaborations in the past, and you said, I've had my roses for 2 years. Guys, it might be time for you to upgrade or change those roses. However, we always have a discount code for you. Kempire20MD, that's for Mother's Day, is now available for $20 off. It will only be available during this Mother's Day collaboration that we have. Be sure to check out the description for more details on how you can get roses, candles, even other beautiful flowers that will last you at least a year from our friends over at Rose Forever. Again, more information will be available in the description. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. And this is your weekend update here exclusively on the Kempire Podcast. Guys, so we did this last week and so many of you loved it. This was a podcast exclusive where we talked about just some hot topics from the week and from the weekend. So I did want to start off by talking about some of the hottest topics that we've been talking about all week. First of all, one topic that we're not talking enough about is the Real Housewives of Miami Season 7 trailer that dropped this week. I don't know why people are still sleeping on this show. So many people have said that I've put them onto the show. They never thought about watching it. They never really got into it. And now everyone is watching from Season 1. And I told you, some people are still saying, do you need to watch Season 1, 2, and 3? I liked Season 1 and 2. Season 3, I understood exactly why they ended up going on a very long, extended pause. However, Season 4, 5, and 6 were perfection. They did that. If you're trying, and this is why they try to do the same thing with Real Housewives of Atlanta, was because of how successful Miami was with their version of a reboot, where they took some of the old and they brought in a bunch of new. And this Season 7 trailer looked stellar. And again, it's just a trailer. But usually, especially recently with Bravo, trailers have not been great. They've been lackluster. But I have to say, the trailer kept me equally like, oh, okay, this is about to be a season. Looks like they're going on a cruise where they're stopping off in multiple different cities, which we have never seen that I can recall. You know, I'm not a Bravo historian, but I don't recall us ever going on a cruise, first of all, and going on multiple like city trips. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. I think some of the things that stood out, Stephanie, who apparently did, in fact, date Dr. Nicole's now fiance, Anthony. And a lot of people were speculating that was part of the reason why Dr. Nicole decided not to come back. And maybe, I mean, look, but she does make an appearance. Based in the trailer, she does make an appearance. She really is in these people's lives. So I'm glad to see that. I wonder if that will mean she will come back next season. I don't know. I mean, if it was you and you were on this reality show where you have no control over, and they're deciding to bring your fiance's ex-girlfriend on this show, even though she's moved on, she has I think she's married. Yeah. Based off the humongous ring on her finger, she's either engaged or married to this other guy who's very filthy rich. I don't see why there would be a problem. If anything, I would have gotten that conversation out of the way so that way we could move forward and move on. But then again, some people are like, well, yeah, that's all well and good, but we're going to have to be filming couple scenes and things like that. And that's the last thing that I want to do is film with my current and my current's past. Nah, just the thought of it. And we know Dr. Nicole's a Virgo, and a Virgo is very similar to a Taurus. Happy Taurus season. Yeah, I don't think I would want to do that. And plus, she has she has 2 babies. There's the whole postpartum of it all. I don't know if they're ever going to get married. You know, they've been engaged. I hope if she does decide to get married, and this is selfish of us, when she does decide to get married, because you know Dr. Nicole's going to do it big. yeah, she's a Virgo and she's humble and blah, blah, blah. But when she does finally get married, she's going to do it big. I kind of want to see her do it on the show. But I can also understand not even just the postpartum of it all, the 2 kids of it all, but also remember she lost her father at the end of last season. So shout out to Dr. Nicole. I get it. A lot of people love Dr. Nicole. A lot of people are like, she's my fave. If she's not on, I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to say that. I liked the addition of Dr. Nicole on the show, especially the opulence, especially because she went up against those women that were trying to haze her because she wasn't a part of the original cast. And they didn't like the fact that fans really loved Dr. Nicole. So I did enjoy Dr. Nicole. I will miss her. I'm glad that we still do get a glimpse of her this season. What else happened in the trailer? What I did notice is that we didn't get a lot of Adriana, which is shocking to me. Again, this is just a trailer. It doesn't mean that Adriana doesn't bring it. She usually does. She's been bringing it since she's an OG of Real Housewives of Miami. Marisol, OG. I never understand why they haven't made some of these folks full-time, especially like Marisol, because she is, quote, unquote, married to that man. Apparently, we're going to see a wedding between them this year. But production doesn't treat the friend ofs like friend ofs. They probably pay them like friend ofs, but they don't treat them like friend ofs of the show. Like Kiki, everyone says, give Kiki her mojito. I mean, look, I don't understand. That for me would be a question to production. Why don't you make some of these people full time? And clearly, there's probably a lot going on with them individually. Like Marisol, I'm sure there's stuff going on there. Why not? She is an OG. I don't get it. Or maybe they don't want to pay her what she wants to get paid to be full-time. Because remember, being a friend of, you're sharing some of yourself, but you're not sharing as much as the housewives. You're not filming as much as the housewives. So, but I also think in Miami, it's a little bit different. They probably are filming almost as much as the housewives, but they also don't have to share as much. So I don't know if it's a personal decision. I think Kiki wants to be full-time. I like Kiki. I like what she represents on the show because she is sort of like this youthful, independent, single mom. There's so much more to Kiki's story that I'm really interested in seeing. And she really is friends with these women. That's the thing about Miami, and I think that's what works with Miami, is that these women are really friends. Even though they're not all friends together, but they have like their conclaves of friendships. So that will be interesting. The new season looks good. We've been waiting, it feels like forever, for season 7 of The Real Housewives of Miami, but I think they intentionally waited for this little bit of a drought that we're having. Sidebar, Real Housewives of Orange County is in Amsterdam. You know I love me some Amsterdam. Shout out to Amsterdam. Shout out to the Netherlands. I'm overdue for a trip there. I used to go there like at least once a year. I didn't go in at all in 2024, right? Yeah, I didn't go at all in 2024, but I had a lot going on in 2024. But, and I can't promise that I'll be there this year because we're already halfway through almost 2025. Can you believe that? Anyway, so the Real Housewives of Orange County ladies, including not newbie, but new to this season, Gretchen, also went on this trip. But noticeably absent is Katie. And apparently Katie's having a tough season. Apparently the women are calling her out for her lies. Look, if you followed any of our recaps, I said there was a pattern with Katie that was a little concerning. And yes, some of this stemmed from years ago, but I was like, I got my good eye on Katie. And for her not to make a cast trip, and she more than likely is a full-time cast member, that's pretty serious. And not good that she's not on the cast trip. But okay. I mean, I really did like the friendship between Jennifer and Katie. I really wanted to ride with Katie. I just didn't like how she moved last season. And I'm not a Heather stan, despite what people might think. People have every person has you don't like Heather, you're a Heather stan. You can never win with these audiences. Not that I'm trying to, because y'all know I ain't trying to please nobody but me. Am I a billionaire? But for her, I kind of wanted to like Katie, and I do like Katie's genuine friendship with Jennifer, and we love us some Jennifer, but we shall see. I thought that was interesting that she was not there for the big cast trip. Does that mean Gretchen might get her spot next season, the following season? So they're filming now, and they're filming their cast trip. We're in May. They're probably wrapping filming this month. We're probably not going to get this new season until, oh my gosh, the fall, probably? Yeah, probably the fall. and they're in the middle of filming Real Housewives of Potomac. And Potomac, we saw this clip. I don't know how it got leaked. I don't know if they were at a public venue and fans were filming them. We saw that Giselle and Ashley were confronting Stacey. And we don't love the fact that Stacey brought TJ on the show or paid him. However, I still prefer Stacey over Giselle and Ashley. Like, they're so overdue for taking a pause, because that's the thing. When you're on reality television for so long, you can only offer so much. They need like a break, like a real break, without putting the show on pause. They need a real break. And the guy from Ugly Betty, Mark, was on Watch What Happens Live and said that to Andy. He's like, I would put Giselle on pause. And Andy was so confused by that. She's like, well, we're just getting off a fantastic reunion. He really believes that all of you fell for the rebranding of Giselle last season. And Giselle has been a monster these last few seasons. And I know everyone's riding with Giselle because she defended Kenya this week. No, look, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. And that's why I said last season, while everyone was like, oh my God, Giselle's so much fun this season, I was like, let's see how long that lasts. And the fact that she's now targeting Stacey, I'm going to wait and see how it plays out, because if Stacey's still lying, I hope Stacey has some support this season. She's going to need it, because these mean girls are going to gang up on her. Okay, and yes, Ashley is the new Robin. And Ashley, I'm sending a cease and desist that you stop singing. Oh, I'm so sick of her and that singing. More sick of her than her TikTok dances. I'm so sick of Ashley Darby and all that damn and I'm like, when I say singing, I'm using that word loosely, because that girl cannot carry a note. Okay. And look, we've been critical of Candace's and her singing, but Candace just needed vocal training. And Candace has really taken her music very seriously and has gotten better. And is still currently doing music, has still established herself in the music industry. Ashley needs to hang it up and stop. Like, immediately. Please stop immediately. And the reason why I really believe that Ashley's the new Robin, I think Giselle, especially now not having Karen there, now wants to form some sort of alliance. And I think this alliance with Ashley has formed the last few years, not just recently. But now more than ever, they're going to have each other's back. And I think it's because in their head, we're OGs. We saw that with Karen. And I don't believe Karen has changed. I think this is why it was necessary for Karen to go to prison, go to jail, because in her head, like, they really, no matter how much money you might have in the bank, they really are enamored by the fame. And BravoCon just feeds that monster that's in them. And without this show, Ashley has nothing. Giselle, without the show, has nothing. And I'm not talking about monetarily. I'm thinking their egos. They feel like they have nothing. If they were not on the show, please understand, Ashley would be pushing this music career like nobody's business. And we'd be like, oh my God, please hang it up. Please hang it up. And I'm actually going to stop talking about it the same way I stopped talking about her TikTok awkward dances with her two left feet. Because I just feel like that just gives it too much attention. Let me take a sip. All right. Let's continue with this weekend update. Let's move away from the Housewives. Let's talk about Beyoncé. Beyoncé has completed her second show in Los Angeles. She's having 5 shows. According to sources, not sources, dates. Sources, no, actual dates. People have tickets, Kempire. Okay, fine. So she's having a residency in Los Angeles. So night 2, she had all kinds of technical issues. And we already know that Beyoncé is a perfectionist. I did a video and I was talking about how Beyoncé is a Virgo and she's a perfectionist. And a lot of people say, you don't have to be a Virgo to be a perfectionist. This is where I love when people do not listen to an entire video or listen to the part where I said, well, I'm a perfectionist too. And I am not a Virgo. So I understand people can be perfectionists, but for a Virgo, they take perfection to a whole new level. Right, Virgos? We have quite a few of you. This is why I say, if I need something done, I'm getting a Virgo. And I really mean that. I got a Virgo when I was looking for buying property or looking for my new place. I got a Virgo, okay? Interior design for my place, I just got a Virgo, okay? I don't play. I know I drag Virgos, but Virgos, I know their powers and I like to utilize them. Okay. Anyway, so Beyonce. So we have a couple of things to talk about in regards to Beyonce. So I'm going to play this clip from Igor XTT on TikTok because you know what we do here. We always cite our sources. He breaks down what happened during night 2 of the Cowboy Carter tour in LA. So take a listen to this.
Y'all know Beyoncé is firing people at this very moment. So we are all leaving the stadium and I'm about to let y'all know what's been going on at night 2 of Cowboy Carter, which I lost my voice first of all. I had to get some sleep before I can finish this video, but you know who did not get sleep? Beyoncé, because she stayed up all night and at 6 a.m. somebody has seen her rehearsing the show. Before I get into everything that went wrong last night, let's talk about the good.
Pause. 6 a.m. the next day, Beyonce was already at the stadium rehearsing the show. Mind you, the next show is not until Sunday. And okay, let me continue.
So she added 4 of her hit songs on top single ladies.
Okay, so she's added 4 new songs, guys. 4 new songs. Love on Top, Single Ladies, Irreplaceable, If I Were a Boy. So I think every show you're going to get something different from Beyonce, which I can appreciate. And this is why people end up going to multiple shows, even though they may live in one particular city.
If I Were a Boy. She also did cut the outro of Thick, which is the All Up in Your Mind, the beginning of All Up in Your Mind. So there is no longer that fan moment. This does not exist in the show anymore. So you can watch the full video on my profile.
So the part that he's talking about that doesn't exist anymore is when the 2 robotic arms that are fans are moving beside her. And he explains why he thinks that she decided to stop doing this.
I have it. I guess it's going to be exclusive. I don't think she's ever going to repeat this. And people said it's probably because of the fans, how close they got to her hair. And she probably got some flashbacks from you know which moment. Also changed a lot of the visuals. Like for the Renaissance, she brought Uncle John. Also brought back the iconic Renaissance screensaver. Also a new visual before this that did not exist on the opening night. Well, now let's talk about all the mess-ups that happened last night, because it's been a lot, okay? And this does not take away from the fact that Beyonce is literally the greatest artist of all time, but the crew that worked got her working until 6 in the morning. So first of all, and probably one of the biggest things that happened throughout the show is that the screens would be glitching through multiple songs, like many songs, they would just be frozen or something like that.
I don't know about you guys. If you watched our live show, when you do a live show, and again, this is not a critique of Beyonce. When you're doing a live show, anything can happen. Both when I do my live show here and I'm streaming from, my computer, I'm streaming from my office studio, or if I'm doing the Kempire After Dark show, anything can happen. I remember in the New York City show, not the last one, but the one before that, a woman had an emergency and I had to keep performing. I mean, I stopped the show just to check. I was like, is everything good? EMS was over there handling that situation. And if you hear this, madam, I hope you're well. But anything can happen during a live show, and you're there to entertain and keep your audience safe, but also entertained.
My son's section was a complete mess. First of all, look at her hat. It was already lifted. This whole costume.
So that part, I think this is when she does Get Me Bodied, and the robotic transformer, she's coming out of it. So the hat comes off before it's supposed to come off. Oh, I know Beyonce was frustrated because they spend so much time and effort, even though there are some elements from the Renaissance here. But this new tour, please understand, she is revamping from the music to the visuals to the choreography, all of that. So I understand her frustration, but you don't see it on stage.
Work properly. They did not bring the stairs on time. She was literally standing there up until I'm That Girl pretty much started. That never happened. By now, first of all, the stairs were already there in all the Renaissance shows and the first opening night. But right now, look, she's like literally standing there. She does not know what's going on. During Cozy, the team forgot to mark the floor. Look at her literally being shocked. She does not know where to stand because those robotic arms can literally not.
I'm sure you guys have all seen the video footage by now where she's sort of like looking down at the floor. She's looking for her marker because she has to go in between these 2 robotic arms. And these robotic arms are huge. And if they hit her, she could be really hurt.
Look, she's looking at the floor, trying to find where she should stand. And she's looking at the arms. She's like, where am I supposed to be? Even on this POV, you can see she's stepping back when the arm gets close to her. Because once again, look. She's literally like putting her arm in front of her. I'm so scared for her. Also, she was not supposed to hold the microphone in this moment. She was not dancing at all. People also pointed out that the dancers forgot to put on the outfits for the Renaissance section. As you can see, the first night they had the gold one, and everybody, including Beyoncé, on the second night has the gold one.
What in the Mercury retrograde is going on?
The rest of the outfits, they do have the same pants, but nothing is on top. So not only that they forgot to bring the stairs, like the stairs did not even exist, but they also you can see right here the dancers are literally running for their lives because they forgot to even show up. How crazy is this? Also, one of the dancers injured herself during last night's show. As you can see right here, she just was doing the ballroom, and then this is what happened. Then she posted on her IG story. She did say that she's devastated and that she injured herself. Here's another story from the same dancer. I'm so sorry that this happened to you, and I hope you heal well. They also moved the honey bucket pits closer to the stage, as a lot of people requested, but now I already see people complaining that they cannot see her when she's right here because they're so close to the stage. And
yeah, I heard a few different complaints about the positioning of these different sections that are very close to the stage. They have all different names. So I heard people complaining, but at least Beyonce's listening. For them to be making changes on the second night because of complaints.
It's literally 7 feet. So maybe they're going to raise it now because people complaining still, but I don't know. She was also flying this time around more around the pits. So she did make a lot of changes to set list. Some songs are not in the same place they used to be. And honestly, despite all the mess ups, night 2 definitely clears night 1. As somebody who's been to both and still going.
That's interesting. He's been to both shows and he's saying night 2, despite all of those issues, still was better than night 1. So Beyonce's just, look, if you remember the Renaissance tour, because I remember following the footage and things like that, where people are saying she's changing, she's updating, she's always getting better. And I think when she started Renaissance, she was still recovering from her injury, right? Because they talked about the injury in the film, a film that they still have not released to streaming. Beyonce, what are you doing, girl? Can we get this on streaming? I wonder why she doesn't release it to streaming. Maybe she didn't get the price that she wanted for streaming. I hear that, girl. Do you? I don't even blame you. Like, I'll wait until you get the price that you deserve. Okay, girl?
3. Did stream the entire last night's show, but then they took off my access to live after the show, and I do have my burner account in my bio. I will try to stream the third night of LA, so go ahead. This is what the updated set list looked like last night. We do expect to have some changes night 3, so I don't think you can just like rely on this because obviously this was not.
Okay, so he's showing you the different set lists. I mean, okay, you guys aren't Beehive members, so well, some of you are, which is fine. But she made changes from night 1 to night 2.
And it did not look the same. Also forgot to mention, she did cut the ballroom section, so she cut off the straight men that were performing there, which first night I was like, why do they have more time than Honey Balenciaga and Blue Ivy? Like, literally, they were like there for 3 minutes just walking around. I'm like, girl, please, get rid of that. She did. There's no...
Wow, look at that. Beyonce is making changes literally days in between. And I think this is part of the reason why. I mean, also to recover her body from doing a 3-hour show, y'all. 3-hour show. All right, so let me play this.
Man, but the girl that injured herself, she was the only one. Then it was Darius, then it was Honey Balenciaga, and then there was Blue Ivy. But before that, night 1, there were like 3 straight men in between. And I was like, girl, please. Yeah, these are all the changes and mashups and everything else. Beyonce, you're still the greatest. I hope you get it right. And good luck to all the people that are no longer with us after last night.
Damn, no longer with us. Again, if you want to follow Igor's information, it's Igor XTT on TikTok. Thank you, Igor. Speaking of Beyonce, in your weekend update, guys, we have to talk about, in regards to her tour and the show. So there's some footage from Beyonce's show where she's walking, in this video footage, she's walking through Vegas and she picks up the Sphere. You know, Sphere is that big concert venue. And now the Sphere's attorneys have sent Beyonce a cease and desist. A cease and desist, according to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. Neighbors, is this petty? According to the New York Post, Beyoncé and her production company, Parkwood Entertainment, have reportedly been hit with a cease and desist from CEO of Madison Square Garden, James Dolan's attorney. They claim B used an imagery of the Las Vegas Sphere during her Cowboy Carter tour without permission. Per reports, Kathleen McCarthy, an attorney for Dolan Spears Entertainment Group, has accused Beyoncé and her team of manipulating images of the Sphere without proper consent. The allegations stem from a video shown during B's Cowboy Carter tour. In the footage, a larger-than-life Beyoncé appears on the Jumbotron, towering over buildings in what looks like the Las Vegas skyline. She then picks up the Sphere, stares into it, pokes it, and walks away. Reps for the Sphere say that following the video, fans began speculating that Beyoncé might wrap up her tour with a residency at the venue. But that doesn't seem to be the case. McCarthy claimed Beyoncé has never physically visited the Sphere and accused her of impermissible use and violation of the company's intellectual property rights. SEG was never asked, and the prominent appearance and manipulation of the SEG Sphere venue in the video is unauthorized, McCarthy wrote in the letter. The company has given Beyoncé and her team until Monday to cease all use of the Sphere. If they fail to comply, SEG says that it reserves the right to take further legal action. So here's the thing. There was a rumor that Beyoncé was going to announce a residency at the Sphere. And the fact that they're doing this, I know they're saying that she's never been to the Sphere. You don't need to be to the Sphere to be talking about conversations about having a show at the Sphere. First of all, Beyoncé will have that already removed by Sunday. Please understand, you will not see the Sphere situation in the Beyoncé show come Sunday. However, I think that this is a petty move from this company, because I think normally if there weren't conversations, yes, no one wants you using their intellectual property. But if Beyonce uses it, and she's been accused of doing this before, so let's not, I like Beyonce, but I'm going to call a thing. She's been sued. She's been accused of stealing in the past, okay? However, I feel like this was a petty move by them. Rightfully so. This is their intellectual property, but it makes me believe the rumors that Beyoncé may have been in talks to do a residency in Las Vegas, and that residency was allegedly going to be at the Sphere. So because maybe that didn't happen and it fell through, and the Beyoncé now includes the Sphere in this promo or this part of her show, I feel like they're now being petty, like, oh, our agreement fell through. You're not going to use us in your show at all, even though it's very it's not that big of a deal. If anything, it helps promote the Sphere. But again, I feel like this is them being petty because maybe whatever deal that they had fell through. Oh, look. Whoa. Oh, Sphere. It is what it is. They'll be strong. Okay. Let's move on from there because I do have another story that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Jussie Smollett. Yes, we've been covering and talking about Jussie Smollett, the actor, the musician, who was also arrested for creating a bogus hate crime. Well, I have an update. As you already know, he was not vindicated. Basically, he didn't have to go back, and his appeal was approved, okay? He didn't have to go back and finish the rest of his term. Because they were saying, I think let me not mess up legal terms because I'm not an attorney. So according to the New York Post, they said hate crime hoaxer. Come on. Whoa. Oh, the New York Post is so messy. Hate crime hoaxer Jussie Smollett and the city of Chicago have reached a settlement in the lawsuit stemming from the phony 2019 attack, according to a report. Smollett and the Windy City announced that they have reached a settlement in the Midwestern metropolis $130,000 lawsuit that accused a former Empire actor of filing a false police report, according to NBC. The details of the settlement have yet to be announced, with both parties saying that they need more time to finalize documentation. The city filed a lawsuit against the Mighty Ducks alum. Wow, he's in the Mighty Ducks? Damn. alum in January of 2019 after his claim of being the victim of a homophobic racist attack at the hands of two MAGA heads prowling in the dark night of a very cold Chicago night, I should say. Dark Knight was exposed as a poorly crafted charade. Okay. Court testimony from the two Asasandaro brothers, who are not white and are African, revealed that Smollett wrote them a check to pretend to beat him up, douse him in bleach, and wrap a noose around his neck. Cook County State Attorney Kimberly Fox initially dropped the charges filed as a part of Smollett's February 2019 arrest, but picked the case back up as public pressure mounted. That's where she failed. If she had just moved forward with it, we wouldn't be dealing or talking about this. He would have just been convicted, served his time, hopefully served his time, and then we would have moved on. We still would have been like making jokes, but okay. Smollett's conviction on 5 felony disorderly conduct counts was overturned last year by the Illinois Supreme Court on a technicality that resulted in the hoax Fifth Amendment rights being violated. So that's important to note. It was a technicality. So for those that, including Jussie, that will try and make it seem as if he was vindicated when he was not. He was not vindicated. It was a technicality because of Kimberly Fox dropping the ball on the initial conviction. And some might say because did she drop it because he was Jussie Smollett? The exposed con art. Damn, who wrote this article? I'm gonna scroll up. I need to scroll up. Who wrote this article? Shane Galvin, bravo to you. Okay, come on. You were so messy. Okay, the exposed con artist served just 5 days of a 5-month prison sentence and has never admitted that he orchestrated the fake attack. And which has made all of us look at Jussie Smollett with the side eye, like, what is going on with you for you to do all this? This cannot just be ego and trying to get attention. This has got to be something serious. And at one particular point, I believe he even went to rehab. So, I mean, I wish him well, that maybe the rehab helps. But the fact that he still tries to make it seem like we're the ones that are crazy when it comes to what he did in this situation, I will always look at Jussie Smollett with the side eye, like, something ain't right with you. Like, if I see him coming down the street, I am crossing the street. Someone like this, I would never turn my back on or ever trust again. But, talented. Look. And look, again, I take this stuff with what he did very seriously because, sir, you try to make it seem like it was some MAGA folks that did this to you, that you were attacked because you were gay and black, and then people that have these real incidents happen to them, people like you make it harder for people to believe them, make it harder for real victims. But okay, go on. He was ready for those brothers to go to jail while he was running free, even though this was his plan. And look, they deserve punishment too because they went along with it. This is illegal, what you're doing. All right, that is the weekend update, guys. I hope you enjoyed this special episode. I will not promise that I will do this every weekend because, as you know, I have a life. Okay, it's about to be a hot boy summer. Literally, it's 80-something degrees here in New York City on this May 3rd as I'm recording this. And I gathered my stories and I said, all right, I'm going to do a weekend update for our podcast fam. And shout out to our podcast fam. You guys get this first. You get the exclusive. If you're finally getting to hear this on YouTube or somewhere else, make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating because those are important as well. But thank you to our podcast fam. We appreciate you guys. And don't forget, on the Apple Podcast, we do have our Club Kempire, a special paid subscription. I just dropped a special recap and review or revisit of season 2 of And Just Like That, the HBO Max original, because I rewatched the season this week and I had new thoughts and my concerns for season 3 and the direction that we're going in. So be sure to check that out and become a Club Kempire member. There is a free 3-day trial. So if you've been thinking about it, there's all kinds of content that you can get there. And there's also a discount when you sign up for a year versus monthly. Anyways, guys, for everything Kempire, because Mother's Day is next Sunday, it's also my birthday. Don't forget, we are also doing a special discount over at CAMEO. There's a special Mother's Day discount starting today and ending on May 10th. So if you want a birthday wish, an anniversary wish, advice, a pick-me-up, whatever it may be for yourself or for your mother or for someone you love, and you want it from me, more information on CAMEO will be available in the description, along with everything else Kempire, including Rose Forever, the discount for Mother's Day that's happening right now, my Butter skincare, all that good stuff available right now. Be sure to check that out in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I will see you all in the next one, whatever that might be. That could be on YouTube. That could be here. You never know. We might have breaking news and I'll come to the podcast. Never know. All right. Thanks, guys, so much for listening. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give the Kempire 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And as always, for more information on everything Kempire Radio Network, head on over to KempireRadio.com.
Want to keep your personal number private but still stay connected? With Line 2, you can get a second phone line right on your device with a super simple app and no need for another phone. Whether it's for online shopping, dating, or shielding your main number from spam, Line 2 is an easy way to manage it all. Ready for peace of mind without breaking the bank? Call, text, block, and more for only $9.99. Get started with line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in any app store today. Line 2, your second line simplified.